I don't know much about slavery in South Africa.
Yeah.
Although were taught about slavery in school when I was on primary school and high school. But on the history side, I don't know where the slavery comes from. But as I grew up, I got more get knowledge about whatever happened in the past. So for me, it's not something that I will go in and try to find out what happened there, but it would be nice to know where I come from and go. Stories about where my grandfather originally come from at Pakkelsdorp. I knew that my great-great-grandfather was removed from one area to another area. And from there on, the family just grow. And my grandfather came from Pakkelsdorp to Cape Town, and he and his wife then started the family here in Cape Town. So there's not much of the Judy's family in Cape Town. They're more from Pakkelsdorp in George. The names or the surnames of the people that was given, I just inherit from my grandfather. So I assume it will be fine with me. So I'm not concerned about what names they gave us as slavery, but from now on we can just build on the name and be proud of where we come from and where we're going to as a family, as the Junis family. Yeah, it will be nice to know more of the history of our family or the slavery. And I think a person should go back and try to get some more information to know what had happened and where we come from. So it will be a great privilege for us as a Junis family to establish something from the history, to go and give it to our grandchildren so that they can know where we come from as slavery people. We're living now in the democratic country, which is for us very good, and it's nice to know that people can live together. But there was hard times. We were staying under the apartheid years, but that I was a child at that time. But things had got better, and now my children can get to places, or they can do things that they want to do, or they can get the education they want to get to. I don't think we should be embarrassed as a history of slavery. If it was part of developing South Africa, and for me it's fine. It was the hard way to start building South Africa, or even Cape Town, or whatever. It's part of a rich history where we come from. So for me, it's something that actually was started, and it wasn't right the way it started, but it brings something forth, and that the new generations after that is now reclaiming the right in society. For me, when I was young, I didn't know that we had some kind of history in the slavery. So for me, it was just growing up, go to school, and then after that, you're a teenager, you got married, and then you bring your children get born. So it's not something that we knew. When I grew up in Philippi Crossroads area, and that was a time where things was very rough. And there's no facility, there's no water, there's no sewage, so we have to make a living there. But we grew up, and eventually my teenager years was that I went to school and I wasn't educated in a high education. So what happened, I went to work because we were 7 children, which I was the oldest, and I had to help my mother because my mother and father separated from each other. So I had to start working to get the other siblings to school and get them, try to get them educated and things like that. So I started at the age of 13 to work. So it looked like the slavery was part of my life. Yeah. So that's how I grew up, and when I got to the teenager stage, I had friends and families. And when I got married, I met my wife in one of the chain stores where we got together. I'm not going to name the store. It will like sound that I bought it in the store. But I met her in a store, and that's where we met each other, and we then after that got married. So we started our family in Crossroads, and I educated my son and my daughter at college level, where they went to college, and we could actually lay a good foundation for them so that they can prosper in the future. My baby daughter is now in college, and we've moved to this area about eight years ago. So this area we actually build it ourselves. So it's an owner builder, and the Lord had blessed me with this. I'm not too shy to say that the Lord had blessed me, and I'm a very proud father of my children. For me, I'm not shy. I'm proud to be a Junis.